The Sweetheart Van. My name is Emily. I'm 23 years old and I live in San Francisco. Every afternoon at 4 p.m., I drive my old white and pink ice cream van through the same quiet streets, playing the same soft, cheerful tune. The children know the sound. It's their call to come running, smiling, waving, and waiting for me. That van, dusty and tired when I first bought it, has become more than a job. It's a piece of my heart. I sell all kinds of ice cream: chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, mint, and a rotating flavor I make on Sundays just to try something new. The freezer hums in the back, keeping everything cold. The smell of sugar and vanilla fills the air as I open the side window and greet each child. Some wave from their doorsteps, some stand at the sidewalk, already holding crumpled bills in their little fists. Some just jump with joy when they see me coming. The children call me Ice Cream Emily. That name warms me from the inside every time I hear it. I still remember my first day driving the van. I had no idea if any children would come. I was nervous, hands trembling as I parked near the school. Then a small boy approached. His name was Ben. He looked up shyly and whispered, "Chocolate, please." I smiled and said, "Of course." After that, he came every day. Soon more kids followed. Mia with her bright pink hairbands, Lucas and Ella always together, Sam with the biggest grin. There was even little Grace, just 4 years old, who couldn't say my name properly and called me Emmy Cream. Some kids tell me about their day. Others share jokes or quiet smiles. I try to make each child feel seen. I remember birthdays. On their special day, they get a free cone with a paper heart taped to it. The parents thank me. One mother once said, "You're part of this street now." That made me cry when I got home. I live in a tiny flat with a big window and a small kitchen. My van sleeps out front. Every morning I clean it, check the freezer, and test the speaker. One time the speaker broke and I drove in silence. The kids didn't hear me and stood looking around. Then Ben saw me, shouted, "She's here!" and all the kids ran out cheering. I fixed the speaker that night. Rainy days don't stop them. They wait under umbrellas, coats damp, eyes sparkling. I serve warm napkins and big scoops. I'll never forget those soaked but smiling faces. There's one quiet boy named Daniel. He's 8 and rarely speaks. He always comes alone, stands patiently, and nods when I give him extra sprinkles. One day he looked up and said, "I like you, Emily." It was the first time I heard his voice. My heart nearly burst. This job doesn't make me rich. Some days I sell only a few cones. But I don't do it for the money. I do it because I love it. The joy, the connection, the music, the freedom of sunlight on my face. On Sundays I experiment with flavors. Banana honey was a hit. Green apple, not so much. Mia said, "It tastes like grass," and I laughed so hard. Local newspaper visited. "We want to write about you," he said. "You're part of the city's heart." I told him everything, about the van, the kids, the music. A week later, the article came out. The headline read, "The Sweetheart of San Francisco." People came to the van just to meet me. Some brought flowers. One elderly woman whispered, "You remind me of my childhood." Peter read the article too. That evening, he came to see me. "Emily," he said, "you are truly special." I smiled. "Thank you for fixing the van that day." He looked into my eyes. Maybe I fixed more than the van that day. I didn't know what to say. My heart felt warm and full. Autumn came. I added hot drinks to the menu, hot chocolate, warm milk with cinnamon. Grace called them hugs in a cup. We all stood close to stay warm. On one cold day, Daniel came without Lily. "She's sick," he said quietly. I gave him 2 cones, one for her. "Tell her I miss her." 2 days later, Lily returned, weak but smiling. She gave me a drawing. It was me with angel wings. I hugged her tight. The sun began to set earlier, but I kept coming. The children kept waiting. One night, Peter stood by with a cup in hand. "Hot chocolate?" I asked. "Only if it's from the best van in town," he replied. We sat on the step, sipping and talking under the stars. That winter, Ben's family moved away. On his last day, he stood quietly beside the van. I gave him his favorite, a cone with 2 scoops, chocolate and vanilla. He looked up and asked, "Will they have someone like you there?" My throat tightened. I knelt beside him. "Maybe, but if not, you can always write to me." He handed me a note. "Thank you for making my childhood happy." I hugged him and watched his car disappear the next morning. I still keep that note in my drawer. After the new year, I wanted to do more. I called a children's hospital and asked if I could bring my van once a week. The nurse said yes. Some kids came in wheelchairs, some wore masks, but when they saw the ice cream, their faces lit up. One whispered, "I never thought I'd get ice cream here." That night, I cried, but they were good tears. Peter brought me dinner. "You did something big," he said. "No," I replied, "I just brought ice cream." "You brought joy," he said. A few weeks later, as we walked in the park, Peter stopped. He pulled a small box from his coat. My heart raced. "Emily," he said, "will you marry me?" Tears filled my eyes. "Yes," I whispered. We had a small wedding. Mia brought flowers. Grace gave me a new name, Emily Sweet and Emily Love. After a week off, I returned to my route. The children were waiting with balloons and signs. Lily gave me a tiny heart made of paper. "Emily makes hearts happy," it said. Now Peter and I run 2 vans, one for the streets, one for the hospital. Before this, I worked in a clothing store at a mall. The lights were harsh, the people rushed by. I missed the world outside. Then one day I saw an old van for sale behind a shop. It was dented, slow, and full of promise. I used all my savings. My family called me crazy. "Emily," they said, "you won't earn anything." I said, "Maybe not, but I'll be happy." And I was. One day something went wrong. I was driving to my usual spot when the van made a loud noise and stopped. It was 3:50 p.m. The kids would be waiting. I opened the hood, heart racing, smoke rising. A man from a nearby hardware store came out. His name was Peter. "You need help," he said. "Yes," I said. "The kids are waiting." He nodded, grabbed tools from his truck, and got to work. At 4:10 p.m., he got it running again. I thanked him with all my heart. He said, "Go bring joy." I arrived late, expecting empty sidewalks, but the kids were still there, sitting and waiting. When they saw me, they leapt to their feet and clapped. "Sorry I'm late," I called. "The van was sleepy today." They laughed. That evening, I brought Peter a chocolate caramel cone. He smiled wide. After that, Peter and I became friends. He helped clean the van and showed me how to check oil and tires. He was calm, kind. One day he said, "You have a good heart, Emily." I replied, "So do you." As the weeks passed, Daniel began arriving with his younger sister, Lily. She was 5, always silent, always holding Daniel's hand tightly. I gave her a vanilla cone with rainbow sprinkles. She looked at it, then at me, and slowly smiled. That smile made my week. Daniel once said, "Lily was sad before, but now she waits for you." I said, "She's special." He replied, "She says you're her best friend." I almost cried. I never knew ice cream could do so much. In July, the city held a small festival. They invited me to bring my van. I cleaned it inside and out, created a new blueberry cream flavor, and added tiny flags. At the festival, children swarmed the van. Parents took pictures. One man said, "You are the heart of this place." That night, I cried happy tears. The next morning, I received a letter from City Hall. They had seen me at the festival and wanted to give me an award for bringing joy to the children. At the ceremony, they handed me a paper that said, "For kindness and joy." The kids clapped and waved as I stood on stage. Later that month, I finally painted the van like I always dreamed. Each child pressed a colourful handprint on the sides, red, blue, green, yellow. The van looked magical. One parent said, "Now this van belongs to all of us." And it did. Soon after, a teacher asked me to visit her school. "You teach kindness," she said. I brought small cones for each child and spoke about following dreams. Big things come from small acts, or a scoop and a heart full of love. The children wait for me, and I wait for them. And that's all I need.